Hi guys, this is me again, Muholeza Rukumeta, your host for Migrant South. So I'm back again with another just short topic, man. I just want to touch on this thing that I think has been in the media in the past couple of days or so. So and what I want to talk about, I just want to pass this information to those people who might probably think of coming to South Africa or might be in South Africa already and they're already struggling with certain common issues that we face in this country. So recently, I think the Minister of Home Affairs has been talking about the changes that they are making on the certain laws that affect us as migrants in South Africa. And some of those laws are the citizenship laws, the immigration laws, and the laws relating to the protection of refugees and asylum seekers. So there are certain changes coming to those laws in South Africa, and they're going to affect us very, very badly or badly. It's even gonna be more worse than it is already because things are already worse as things are. And so, look, people who are in South Africa, they know that we really struggle with paperwork in South Africa. It's very, very difficult to get paperwork in South Africa. I'm talking about the permit. So a permit, it will be your document that recognizes you as being in South Africa, whether it's a short-term permit or long-term permit. It's very difficult to get it in South Africa. And the government is looking into even tightening on that. And the aim, I think the whole aim around the changes that are being made is to try to limit the number of people coming into South Africa. And when we talk about the number of people that are coming into South Africa, we're not talking about people from Europe or America. We're talking about people from poor countries, troubled countries. And you might think maybe it's only African countries, but no, we're talking about even other countries in Asia. So we're looking at Pakistan, we're looking at Bangladesh, and other countries, which are also have a good number of people that come into the country all the times, and they are trying to tighten that area so that it can discourage people from coming into the country, just like the UK is doing with the Rwanda policy, sending migrants to Rwanda. So it's the same thing. So if you're thinking of coming to South Africa, you have to think twice because paperwork is going to be a struggle. If you think of coming to South Africa, you have to think twice because jobs are scarce, they're not available, not only to migrants, but even also to citizens that probably are educated, graduates, they're all struggling to get jobs. So the whole idea of trying to closing in and bringing in more legislations that limit people from coming and therefore puts citizens at the advantage of probably getting jobs. It is what the Office of Home Affairs is working on. So I'm not going to go deep into this because I just want to give you a heads up. These are some of the things that we'll be discussing on this channel. We'll be looking into those laws in deep to try to study each clause, each article of those laws. For instance, when these laws were published, or what they call here in this country white paper, it is the document that contains the proposed changes that will be made on those legislations. I think I also contributed because the publication was made public to everyone to provide comments, and I provided my own comments on the white paper, and my comment was based on two article or two clauses of the proposal. And one was about citizenship to the children who are born in South Africa by migrant people, all right? And the other was the claim which was made into that proposal to say that the government provides assistance, social assistance to migrants, and which said that which was specifically talking about providing housing to migrants. So I made comment on those two clauses which are contained in that document published by the Office of Home Affairs. And to me, when it comes to the social assistance that the government of South Africa provide to migrants, specifically the housing, that to me, I don't know how much housing they provide to migrants like me. I'm a refugee. I've been in this country for 18 years now, if not 17. I've gone through all the processes. Yes, they might provide some assistance to people, but the question is how many people, how many migrants are assisted in terms of getting housing from the government compared to the number of migrants that are in South Africa. And then when it comes to citizenship, they're saying that they can't issue citizenship to children who are born from migrant parents for the reason of saying that if they provide that citizenship to that child, then that makes that the father or the parent of that child eligible to stay in South Africa for any given reason. And therefore, they see that as not a good thing to do because those parents might have done something wrong in the country and they can still come back the country for the reason that they were being invited by their children. So it's quite a big document, and I think it's 199 pages document. So it contains all that information. So in the next few episodes, I'm going to be looking into that and go deep into each clause and try to provide some light into that. But what I want to say is that for those who are not in South Africa and planning to come into South Africa, they have to think twice. They have to think strategically. But again, I know people do not come into the country because they want to come into the country. There's always circumstances behind it, and those circumstances are bigger than the risks that they're willing to take. And that is one thing that our listeners must always understand, and perhaps our fellow South Africans, to understand that when people decide to come into this country, it's never something that they do on their willing, or they decide, or they choose, or they wish, or they want, or they like to do. It's always forced by bigger circumstances that are beyond their power to overcome. And so that is why people end up coming into the country. So, but as I was saying, South Africa is not a good option at the moment. And for the very, very foreseeable, for the very coming years, it's not going to be a good place because the changes that are being made from in the laws of this country are relating to migrants and also immigration. Citizenship is not going to be in the favor of people like us. I'm not saying you should not come. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm only telling you that it's a struggle. We struggle in this country, to be honest, and we wish each and every day that we can, if there was a possibility, if there was an option to exit, but it's because we have no such possibility, we have no such option, that is why we persist. And those who get those options, they exit as soon as they can. So, jobs are scarce, paperwork is a mess, and so forth. So think twice. Where try to measure your options and decide. So we'll look into more of those things in the near future as we come back with more episodes. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to talking to you in the near future. Cheers.